Okay, so these are the four avastha. Here I have put in the four avastha. That is Arambha Avastha, Ghat Avastha, Parichaya Avastha, and Nishpatti Avastha. So yesterday, as we saw, okay, first that is Arambha Avastha. So when a yogi or a practitioner he starts practicing Nadanusandhan, step by step, gradually, just like we climb the stairs or we climb a ladder, he uh, climbs one avastha, then the second, then the third, and the fourth. So that is how he progresses forward. So first is Arambha Avastha. In Arambha Avastha, what happens that Brahma Granthi, the yogi, the practitioner, he pierces Brahma Granthi. Now, this Granthi is considered or said that it is in the heart region. Swatmaram Rishi has not specified the region or the place of the Granthi. But in other Upanishads, if you see, or Granthas, normally Brahma is in the heart, Vishnu is in your throat region, and Rudra Granthi is in your Agya Chakra. So that is how it is. So here we are saying Brahma Granthi heart. So in Arambha Avastha, what happens? Brahma Granthi is pierced. So in exam, it will be asked that this avastha, which Granthi, they will give you four options and you have to choose which Granthi is pierced. So in Arambha Avastha, Brahma Granthi is pierced. Now when this Brahma Granthi is pierced, what happens? You hear certain kind of sounds. In every avastha, in every state, certain sounds are heard. So in Arambha Avastha, what sound is heard? Sounds like tinkling ornaments. How the ornaments, if you shake it, they tinkle. Very soft, nice sound is heard. So it is like the tinkling of the ornaments. I would suggest that you learn these words also. Very, very important. Because in exam, when they are translating, it could happen that the words are different and you will not realize, you will not understand what they are asking. Though you know the answer, because of the translation, difference in the translation, the answer will go wrong. So in Arambha Avastha, Brahma Granthi is pierced and you hear the sound Jhan Jhan. That is the tinkling of the ornaments. Then what is the result? So when the Brahma Granthi is pierced and the practitioner, he hears the tinkling of the ornaments. What is the result? Divine fragrance. So his body, it starts smelling very fragrant smell, radiance in the body. So his body, it starts glowing. You see the radiance. हम लोग बोलते हैं ना तेज, बड़ा तेजस्वी है. So radiance in the body and stability of mind. So your mind, it becomes stable, or we can say sthir. In Hindi, Divya Dehi, Ojasvi, Divya Gandha Yukta, Arogi, Prasannachit, and Shunyachari. Now, next, Ghat Avastha. In Ghat Avastha, what happens? That Vishnu Granthi is pierced. Just give me a second. 1 minute. So in Arambha Avastha, Brahma Granthi is pierced. Then as the yogi, he progresses. So of course, from here he'll go above. So after Brahma Granthi, which is the Granthi? Vishnu Granthi. So Vishnu Granthi is pierced in Ghata Avastha. Now the sound that is heard in Ghata Avastha is that of a bheri. The sound is called as the bheri, like the kettle drum. So the sound is bheri here. Now in this state, what happens? The mind becomes steady, the prana is balanced, and realization of the divine inner light. These are the effects that are seen in Ghat Avastha. Then in Parichaya Avastha, what happens? There is no Granthi that is pierced in Parichaya Avastha. There is no Granthi which is pierced. The sound that is heard is that of Mardal. Mardal or even Vimarda. Mardal or Vimarda, one and the same. So it is like, we call it Damru, just like a drum. So Mardal, or we can say Vimarda, that is the sound that the yogi he starts hearing. Now, here what happens, the yogi is free from sorrow, delusion, agitation, and he attains great peace. Then, in Nishpatti Avastha, what happens? Rudra Granthi. Rudra Granthi is pierced. So, in Arambha Avastha, Brahma Granthi, Ghata Avastha, Vishnu Granthi, Paricha Avastha, no Granthi, Nishpatti Avastha, Rudra Granthi. Now, what is the sound that is heard? It is that of Veena. Veena, or it is said Veenu. The sound of the Veena, it is very pleasant, it is very soft, very soothing sound. So, flute-like sound or Veena or Veenu. What is the effect or the result? Perfect concentration. That means the yogi, he attains Samadhi or Raja Yoga. He becomes one with Ishwar or one with the divine, one with the God. He is equal to God. He is that powerful. So that is the benefit of Nishpatti Avastha. Now, Pragya ji, tell me, in Arambha Avastha, which Granthi is pierced?
Brahma Granthi.
Okay. In Ghata Avastha,
In
Nidhi
Ghata
ji,
Avastha,
Nidhi ji,
yes,
sorry, yeah. Nidhi ji, in Ghata Avastha, which Granthi is pierced?
Vishnu Granthi.
Very good. Sukanya ji, in Parichaya Avastha, which Granthi is pierced?
Here there will be no Granthi.
Very
In
good.
Avastha.
Very good. And then in Nishpatti Avastha, which Granthi is pierced?
Rudra Granthi.
Yes, very good. Very nice. So Granthi is clear. Now Aram Avastha. Sukanya ji, which sound is heard?
Here where we can hear the tinkling sounds.
Tinkling, like the ornaments, jhanjhan. Yes, very good. Nidhi ji, in Ghata Avastha, which sound do you hear?
Bheri sound.
Very good. Pragya ji, in Parichaya Avastha, which sound do you hear?
Mardal.
Mardal.
Damru like sound.
Mardal or Vimarda or Damru like sounds.
Yes,
Yes. So Kanya ji, in Nishpatti Avastha, which sound does a yogi hear?
Yes, ma'am. In Nishpatti Avastha.
Yes.
Veena sound.
Yes, Veena sound we can say, or a flute-like sound. Okay. Then in which state does a yogi, Nidhi ji, in which state does a yogi attain the state of Raja Yoga?
Nishpatti Avastha.
Nishpatti Avastha. Then Pragya ji, in which state the yogi is free from delusion, sorrow, agitation?
Ma'am, that is Ghata Avastha.
No.
Parichaya.
Parichaya Avastha. Very good. Parichaya Avastha.
Yes, ma'am. Those,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
So, Kanyaji, in which avastha the body of a yogi starts smelling fragrant?
Fragrance in Brahma Granthi.
So, which avastha?
Arambha Avastha.
Arambha avastha. Very good. So, this table you have to learn as it is. I would suggest that if possible, you remember the Hindi words or the Sanskrit words, because it will be easy for you from exam point of view. Okay, then Svatmaram Rishi says, perpetual happiness is achieved by this. I do not care if the mukti be attained, mukti be not attained. This happiness resulting from absorption in Brahma is obtained by means of Raj Yoga. So here Svatmaram Rishi is saying that whether you attain mukti or no, by practicing Nadanusandhan, okay, he said, I don't care whether the yogi he attains mukti or no, but the yogi when he practices this Nadanusandhan, he definitely attains happiness. When he becomes one with Brahma, then he attains a different kind of happiness by means of Raja Yoga. That means he attains Raja Yoga also. Then Swatmaram Rishi is saying, those who are ignorant of Raj Yoga and practices only Hatha Yoga will, in my opinion, waste their energy fruitlessly. So here he is saying that if the yogi, he does not practice Raj Yoga or does not know about Raj Yoga and he's only practicing Hatha Yoga, then he will not get any fruit. He will not be benefited. It is useless practicing only Hatha Yoga if you are ignorant about Raja Yoga. So, along with Hatha Yoga, knowledge of Raj Yoga is also very, very important. Then Swatmaram Rishi is saying, contemplation on the space between the eyebrows, in my opinion, is best for accomplishing soon the Unmani state. For people of small intellect, it is very easy method for obtaining perfection in Raj Yoga. The lay produced by Nath at once gives experience of spiritual paths. So now here, very important. See, Swatmaram Rishi has told so many things. This mudra, that asan, everything has told. Then he's saying over here that if a person, he focuses or at the center of the eyebrows, then he attains Unmani Sthiti very fast. This is the easiest way of attaining Unmani Sthiti or to attain Raja Yoga. When he focuses at the center of the eyebrows, the nad is produced. He hears a nad which helps him grow spiritually. It gives him the spiritual experience. So in very simple, he has given a very simple solution that focus at the center of your eyebrows and contemplate. Still you will attain Unmani Sthiti. And for people who are not very knowledgeable, for them, obtaining Raj Yoga by this method becomes very, very easy. Then he says, the happiness which increases in the heart of Yogeshwaras, who have gained success in Samadhi by means of attention to the Nad is beyond description and is known to Sri Gurunath alone. So the happiness, the blissfulness, the ananda that we say, that is attained by listening to the different nad, by practicing Nadanusandhan. Only the yogi knows what is that ananda. And Sri Gurunath, that means only Gorakshanath knows. Nobody else knows. You cannot describe it. Anirvachaniya, you cannot describe it. You have to experience it. It can be known. The happiness can be, or the peace can be known only by experience. And only Gorakshanath, he knows it. The sound which a Muni hears by closing his ears with his fingers should be heard attentively till the mind becomes steady. So, the sound, the nad that a yogi he hears by closing his ears with his fingers. Just by closing his ears with his fingers, the yogi hears, he can hear a nad or the sound. And when he hears that nad or that sound, what happens? His mind becomes steady. So just by closing the ears with his fingers, the yogi will hear a nad and his mind will become steady. By practicing with this nad, all other external sounds are stopped. So when you practice it in this way, keep your hands on your ears and you practice in this way, listen to the nad, calm your mind. The yogi becomes happy by overcoming all distractions within 50 days. So when he practices in this way, within 50 days, all the distractions, all the viksheep, all the obstacles are removed. And the yogi, he becomes happy only within 15 days. In the beginning. Now when he practices in this way, again he hears the sounds. He hears different variety of sounds. And they are very loud. But as the practice increases, they become more and more subtle. So initially the sound, the nad that a yogi hears, they are very loud. And then as he progresses in his practice, as he continues his practice, what happens? The sound, they become subtle and subtle and more subtle. In the first stage, now here I have put it in the table. Okay, first stage. In the first stage, what happens? Strong, coarse breath. How is the breath? It is strong, it is coarse. And the sound here that is heard is loud, like rustling or roaring of the ocean. How we go near the ocean, you hear the sound of the ocean, and it is loud. In that way, he hears the sound rustling and roaring of the ocean. The sound is loud. Then, as he practices Madhyam Nad, that means medium sound, moderate breath. What happens? Sound like conch or bell is heard. So a sound like a what do you call it? Conch, shankha, like a conch, that is shankha, or a bell is heard, a big bell. That sound is heard. And then again, as he practices further, the sound becomes even subtle, a sukshma. So his breath is also very fine, very smooth. And then the sound that he hears is that of veena or a very small bell, the one we use for the arti and everything, like that small bell. He hears the sound of veena or a small bell. So initially, the sound is loud, then it becomes moderate, and then it becomes very subtle. So what is the first nada that he hears? Sukanya ji?
In Arambhavastha.
No, not in Arambhavastha. Now these are the different states. We are done with Arambhavastha.
Yes, yes. Here, roaring.
Yes.
It's a roaring sound. It's a loud sound of roaring of ocean.
Rustling or roaring of ocean. So samudra ki garjana. Or even the sound of the clouds.
Loud
Okay.
clouds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even sound. I'll add that. The thunder of the thundering of the clouds is heard over here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, yes. Now understood. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And yeah. Then Ruchiji, in Madhyam Nad, what is the sound that you hear?
हाँ मैम, ये ढोल, शंखनाद, घंटा और घड़ियाल.
Yes. Okay. And Sadanandanji, in the finals, the most subtle, Sukshma Nad, what is the sound that you hear?
Gentle sound like small bell or veena.
Yes, very good. Very nice. This is Nad. So from exam point of view, you have to remember this chart very well. Okay, my suggestion again for this chart, learn these words. Learn these words. Because again, English translation, depending on what the translation is done in exam, it will differ a little. So my suggestion would be either if you can learn these Hindi words, or you can learn the Sanskrit words also from here. It is one and the same. Okay. Then, wherever the mind attaches itself first, it becomes steady there. And then it becomes absorbed in it. So wherever your mind, whichever sound, not necessary which sound, your mind might be attached to the loud sound or the medium sound or the sukshma or the subtle sound. So Atmaram Rishi is saying, in whichever state, in whichever sound, your mind, it attaches itself. Just let it be there. It becomes steady there. And then it becomes absorbed in it. The mind will become absorbed in it. So not necessary that the mind will be absorbed in this way only, pratham, then madhyam and sukshma. No. Wherever, maybe the mind will not get attached in the pratham, it will get attached over here. And it will stay over here only. It will get absorbed in that particular state. Just now here all the comparisons are given. We'll just quickly go through it. Just as a bee drinking sweet juice does not care for the smell of the flower, so the mind absorbed in the nad does not desire the objects of enjoyment. So just like a bee, it drinks the juice, the nectar from the flower, but it is not attached to the fragrance of the flower. It drinks the nectar and it flies away. It is not attached to the flower. Similarly, the mind absorbed in the nad, the mind, it is absorbed in the nad and not the objects of enjoyment. It is not interested in the objects of enjoyments. That means asakti rahit hai. It is not attached to any of the materialistic objects. Now it is interested only in the nad. The mind, now here, first it was compared to a bee, then it is compared to an elephant. The mind, like an elephant, habituated to wander in the garden of enjoyments, is capable of being controlled by the sharp goad of anahat nad. Now, just like an elephant. Now, here elephant means madonmat elephant. That means an elephant that is not in its right state of mind. He's just enjoying. He's in a trance. He wanders off in the garden of enjoyments. He is not in control of himself. The mind, like an elephant, is capable of being controlled by the sharp goad of anahat nad. So the elephant who is not in our control, how do we control it? By the nad or the sound. Similarly, here is said that the mind also we have to control it with anahat nad. Then the mind captivated in the snare of nada gives up all its activity and like a bird with clipped wings become calmed at once. So if you clip the wings of a bird, where can it fly? It cannot fly. It will calm down. It will stay in one place only. Similarly, the mind, which is totally absorbed in the nada, it will calm down. Those desirous of the kingdom of yoga should take up a practice of hearing anahat nad, which mind collected and free from all cares, with collected mind and free from all cares. So if you want to practice yoga, if you want to grow in yoga, if you want to be something in yoga, if you want to attain a yoga, then Swatmaram Rishi here is saying that you should practice hearing this anahat nad. You have to practice listening to the different sounds. And your mind should only be focused on those anahat nad. And it should be free from all the other thoughts and activities of mind. The mind, it should be focused only and only on anahat nad. Nad is the snare for catching the mind. And when it is caught like a deer, it can be killed also like it. So just like, when you want to catch hold of a deer, what happens? You set a net and the deer, it gets caught in the net and we can control it. Similarly, the mind also here is saying that it can be caught just like a deer. The mind can be caught by this nada. When the mind is listening to this nad, it calms down. We can control the mind. So it is compared now here to a deer. So what was the first comparison? It was of a bee, then it was of elephant, then clipped wings bird, then of a deer. Now here is compared to the horse. Just like the horse, how do you control a horse? You bolt the stable door. If you bolt the door, if you close the door of the stable, the horse cannot run anywhere. It has to stay there only. Similarly, the nad, with the practice of nad, you can control your mind. Just as liquid mercury is solidified by sulfur, so mind is bound by nad and freed from restlessness. Just like mercury, we saw mercury is very, it is very active, not active as such, but it is not stable. It is very unstable element. So mercury you can control the mercury by mixing it with sulfur. It solidifies when you add sulfur to it. Then it becomes stable. Similarly, the mind is also stabilized by nada. The mind is like a serpent. Now here the mind is compared to a serpent. Here it was compared with a mercury. The mind is like a serpent, forgetting all its unsteadiness by hearing the nad. It does not run away anywhere. Just like the serpent, वो क्या कहते हैं? So when he hears
Beam,
the
beam.
sound, he so when he hears the beam, the sound made from the beam, he just stays where he is. He doesn't run away. He keeps listening to he's engrossed in that sound. Similarly, our mind also gets engrossed in the nada, and our mind doesn't run here and there. It becomes steady. The fire catching wood is extinguished along with it. And so the mind also, working with the nad, becomes latent with it. Now here, the mind is compared to a wood. Just like we lit the wood, we lit the fire with the wood, and along with the wood, that also becomes it is extinguished. So when the wood turns into the ash, the fire also extinguishes along with the wood. Similarly, the mind also, it extinguishes or becomes latent or becomes stable with the nada. The antakaran, like a deer. So again, now deer, the antakaran, the mind, just like a deer, becomes absorbed and motionless on hearing the sound of bells. And then it is very easy for an expert archer to kill it. So when you go to a forest, the deer, they are they have a very good hearing. They hear a slightest sound and they run away very fast. So it is very difficult to catch a deer. So what they do is they make some sound of a bell or something. So listening to the sound, it just stops and it looks up. It looks up from what is that sound. And at that moment, when the deer is steady, at that time it becomes very easy for an archer to kill him or catch him. Similarly, it is with the mind. The mind with the sound, the nada, it becomes still. The knowable interpenetrates the anahat nad which is heard, and the mind interprets the knowable. The mind becomes absorbed there, which is the seat of the all-pervading Almighty Lord. Now, how do you attain the state of the Almighty Lord, or we can say Vishnu ka Parampad of Vishnu? How do you attain Parampad of Vishnu? The knowable interpenetrates the anahat sound which is heard. So the knowable, whatever the object that is knowable, it interpenetrates the anahat sound. Now the mind also interpenetrates the knowable, and when this happens, the mind, it becomes calm, it becomes stable. And then when the mind becomes stable, then it attains the seat of Vishnu. Vishnu, Parampad of Vishnu. So in this anahat, in this nad, the word anahat, in this anahat word, the sound is situated. And in this sound is the knowledge of that object. And if you focus your mind on that thing, on that object, then your mind, it stays there only. And then the yogi, he attains Parampad, the Almighty Lord. So long as the sounds continue, there is the idea of Akash. When they disappear, then it is called Parabrahma or Paramatma. So as long as the sounds continue, we know sound, Shabda. Shabda is Akash. आकाश का क्या है? तन्मात्रा शब्द है. Tanmatra is Shabda. So as long as the sounds continue, there is the idea of Akash. So till the time there is Shabda or sound, Akash is going to be there. When they disappear, so when Akash will disappear or when Shabda will disappear, the other one thing also will disappear. So if one disappears, the other will also disappear. And then it is called as Paramatma. Yeah, Parabrahma, the yogi. He attains Parabrahma. When does a yogi attain Parabrahma? When the sound, or we can say the Tanmatra and the Akash, they disappear. Both of them, they disappear. Then it is called as Parabrahma. Whatever is heard in the form of Nada, whatever is heard in the form of Nada is the Shakti. So whatever you're hearing, whichever Nada, whichever sounds you are hearing, it is nothing but Par, Shakti, which is formless. Now that sound, it does not have a form. It is just a Nad, the final state of the Tattvas. It is the final stage of all the Tattvas, and it is Parameshwar. So the Nad, which is a Shakti, that is a power, is nothing but Parameshwar, or we can say God. Then Swatmaram Rishi is saying, all the methods of Hatha are meant for gaining success in Raja Yoga. For the man who is well established in Raja Yoga overcomes death. All these shloks, I am going very fast because it is nothing important from exam point of view, but we should know. So whatever methods you're using in Hatha Yoga to attain Raja Yoga, all the methods that are of Hatha Yoga are meant for to gain success of Raja Yoga. So whatever process as are told by Swatmaram Rishi, like Asan, then Pranayam, Nadi Shodhan, then Shuddhi Kriya, then Pranayam, then Mudra. All these methods, all these kriyas or processes. Why has Swatmaram Rishi told this? So that a yogi can attain Raja Yoga. And once a yogi attains Raja Yoga, that yogi, he overcomes death. That means he attains moksha. Chitta is the seed, Hatha is the field, and Vairagya is the water. So here it is beautifully compared, okay, that Chitta is the seed. Now this seed, Hatha is the field. So different asana, pranayama, all these things, they are the field in which you have to place your Chitta. So when you are practicing asana or pranayama, you have to place your Chitta in that and you have to calm it. And Vairagya is the water. By the action of these three, the creeper Unmani thrives very rapidly. So when Chitta, Hatha and Vairagya, they come together, then what happens? It is said that the creeper Unmani, the plant Unmani, it thrives or grows rapidly. Then Swatmaram Rishi is saying, all the accumulations of sins are destroyed. सारे आपके जो भी sins है, they are destroyed by practicing always with the nad. That means as you practice nad, if you keep practicing Nadanusandhan, then all your sins will be destroyed. And the mind and vayu do certainly become latent in the Paramatma. And when you practice Nadanusandhan, what will happen? Your mind and prana, they will calm down. They will become motionless. They will become steady. And where will it become steady? It will be absorbed in Paramatma. Such a one does not hear the noise of the conch or dudumbi. Being in the Unmani Avastha, his body becomes like a piece of wood. Now, when a yogi, he attains this stage, now he doesn't hear the sound of any conch or dudumbi. Being in the Unmani Avastha, his body becomes like a piece of wood. His body, it just becomes like a piece of wood. Piece of wood means he is not doing anything. He is just there. Just like if a piece of wood, if you keep it somewhere, it will be there only. It will not go anywhere. Nothing will happen to it. Similarly, is the state of a yogi in Unmani Avastha. Same will be the state of his body. Wherever he is, he will just be there. There is no doubt such a yogi becomes free from all states. He'll be free from smell, tastes, form, touch, and sound. That means he'll be free from all the tanmatras, from all the worries, and remains like one dead. जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं ना समाधि, the rishi munis used to sit for samadhi and used to be in one position only for years together, just like, as if a stone or something is kept. Here it is compared to wood or a dead person, that if you keep a dead body in a place, it will stay there only. That dead body cannot smell, cannot taste, it doesn't have any form, it doesn't touch, or it doesn't feel any touch. No sound is created by it. It cannot hear any sound. Just like a dead body, the yogi also stays there. Yogi is free from all these things, and he just bees where he there. One whose mind is neither asleep or awake, is devoid of memory and forgetfulness, neither oblivious nor active, is indeed liberated. Now, what is the state of the mind? The mind is the yogi in samadhi. He is neither awake nor is he sleeping. His mind is not active. There are no thoughts. Okay. Nor is it gaining any knowledge. Nothing. It does not have any memories. Nothing. It does not have any craving, any attachment, nothing. It is just steady. And it is indeed liberated. That means the mind here, when the mind is in this state, the yogi, the sadhak, he is mukta or liberated. In samadhi, a yogi is unaware of heat and cold, pain and pleasure, honor and dishonor. So when a yogi, he is in a samadhi, here the state of mind is told. How is the mind? He is not sleeping, he is not awake, he cannot feel anything, he does not have any memory, he does not recollect, it is not active, it is not inactive also, nothing. Similarly, physically now here, Swatmaram Rishi is saying that physically, he does not feel hot, he does not feel cold, no pain, no pleasure, honor, dishonor, nothing. He doesn't feel anything at all. That is the state of yogi in a samadhi. He whose mind is neither sleeping, walking, remembering, destitute, free of memory, disappearing, or nor appearing is liberated. So the yogi is not sleeping, is not waking, he doesn't remember anything. His memory is free from everything. That yogi is mukta or liberated. Then Swatmaram Rishi is saying the yogi engaged in samadhi cannot be killed by any instrument and is beyond the controlling power of means. He is beyond the reach of incantations and chants. So when a yogi attains samadhi, he is in such a different state. So Atmanam Rishi has explained the states in the previous shlokas. So he is in such a different state that no one can kill him. He cannot be killed by any instrument, any weapon, nor can anyone control him. There are people, who control by mantra or something like that, by chants and everything. So no one can control. He is in such a different place or state that nothing can control him. As long as the prana does not enter and flow in the middle channel, that means sushumna, and the somaras does not become firm by the control of the movements of prana, as long as the mind does not assume the form of Brahma without any effort in contemplation, so long all the talk of knowledge and wisdom is merely nonsensical babbling of a mad mind. So after telling everything, Swatmaram Rishi now is saying that if your prana, it has not entered the Sushumna Nadi. If the somras is not controlled, if it is not preserved, if your mind has not become absorbed in the with Brahma or Paramatma, then whatever knowledge you have, no matter how much you say, I am so much learned, I'm educated and this and that, I'm spiritually enlightened, all these talks are nonsense. nonsense. They are the talks of a madman. So if Satmaram here is saying that a person has a yogi has to attain all these things. The prana should enter Sushumna Nadi, the somra should be preserved, and the mind should be absorbed in Brahma. Only then that person is considered knowledgeable and a wise man. Otherwise, no matter how much you say, I'm educated, I'm learned, I've done this, I've attained so many degrees and so many marks, it doesn't make any sense. It does not have any value according to Smatmaram Rishi. And with this, we complete the fourth Updesh of Hat Pradipika. And we complete Hat Pradipika today.